This is Anker's second generation Astro E4. There are a few different color variations, but I went with black and blue. I don't know, it looks kind of nice, right? And this is an external battery that I bought 6 months ago for about $30 off of Amazon. I've used a few external batteries before, but this is the first one that I've actually owned myself. When you buy the battery, it'll also come with a micro USB cable and its own little carrying case, which is sort of unnecessary, but I like it. You know, it's kind of just it's another nice little touch. Now I know what you're thinking. Yo, does this charge things? Hell yeah, it does. It's optimal for your portable devices, so think like phones and tablets, stuff like that. Maybe not so much your desktop PC or refrigerator, because that would be dumb. But does it do anything outside of just charging things? Check out this Fly LED flashlight. Now it's not a game changer or anything, but it's a neat feature. It really doesn't need to do much else though, right? Like, it holds a charge pretty well. It runs about a week with regular use, although your mileage may vary with that, and quite a bit longer if you have this around for those just-in-case scenarios. And that's where I think this really shines. You keep this stowed away, and you never really have to worry about running that app that you know will always run your device down, and you can kind of just rest assured that none of your devices are going to die on you. So this uses Anker's Power IQ technology, which is basically supposed to deliver the most amount of power to a device that it can safely accept. Right, so that way you charge your devices as fast as possible. I'm no engineer, I just kind of have to take this at face value, and you know what, it seems to work totally fine. It also turns itself off if you're not actively charging something else, which is pretty standard fare, but it works well. It recognizes when something is plugged into the port, so it saves you a step there, although if you just keep your cables plugged in, you'll have to tap the button to activate the battery. Now I have to admit, I'm a pretty big fan of the Anker products in general. I also own their USB hub and their lightning bolt cables, which I'm particularly fond of, and they always come nicely packaged and seem like well thought out products from a pretty cool company. Over the past half year, I've used the Astro E4 battery, ranging from just the occasional spare charge to an everyday primary charging station. And through all of that, I've really only had one issue with it. And that's the activation button on the side. It's put together well enough, but at some point it would stick when pressed in, which when it's your only interface with the functionality of the product, you can imagine that might be the cause of a little bit of frustration. When that would happen, you would sometimes have the light turn on when you didn't want it to, or drain the battery just a little extra by having it activated when you didn't set it to activate. Now this was only a problem for me over the course of a few weeks until it finally evened itself out some, and while I don't necessarily expect this to be a widespread problem through all of their batteries, it is something to take into consideration. And all that said, I still have to give it my highest marks. It knows what it is, and it serves its purpose well. It's the kind of product you might hold off on buying because you think, yeah, is this really necessary? But then once you finally get it, you realize, like, how did I get by without this? And I really couldn't recommend it enough.